Tom Thibodeau has officially been fired by the New York Knicks. They are going to have a brand new head coach. After 25 years, they finally had the most successful season that they've had since they made the finals back in 2001, or was it 2000? I think it was, I can't remember now. I'm so old that the thought is just not there. I think it was 2001, and they finally made the Eastern Conference Finals. Yes, they lost to the Pacers, but was that really Tibbs' fault? Did Tibbs deserve to get fired? And what's next for the Knicks? Who's going to be their new head coach? What are they going to do in the offseason? Because they have to retool the roster. We're going to talk about all of that in this video. And let's start with, did Tibbs really deserve to be fired? I know there's a ton of Knicks fans that were begging for this moment to happen. They don't believe in him. They thought he was overworking the team, which is fair. He did sort of overwork the team a lot during the regular season. But I was told that he couldn't make adjustments during the playoffs. He couldn't make adjustments in his coaching style. But throughout each series, we saw Tibbs make huge adjustments. We saw Tibbs completely change his defensive scheme from the regular season, which was another thing that somehow people thought that he couldn't do, which is kind of crazy because Tibbs is one of the best defensive coaches in the entire NBA. I don't know why we thought that he would just continue to do drop coverage and whatever, but those changes obviously didn't win them a title. And that's what we're here to talk about. Tibbs is kind of obsessed with starting his starters all the time, not really playing his bench too much. And when he finally did start to play his bench players, it was kind of when the Knicks' backs were against the wall. They were doing a whole lot of rotation changes and playing people that otherwise wouldn't have normally played, like Landry Shamet, like Daylon Wright. Even Campaign got some minutes. It's sort of interesting in my opinion, because I do kind of think that Tibbs did not deserve to be fired. I'm going to be honest. I know a lot of Knicks fans would probably disagree. And if you do disagree, let me know in the comment section why you think I'm wrong. I am interested in hearing everybody's opinions, but Tibbs has taken us to a point where we haven't been in many, 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 many years. I mean, over 2 decades, the Knicks have not even sniffed the Eastern Conference Finals. Tibbs has been the most successful coach that we've had, I don't know, since Jeff Van Gundy, probably. A 226 and 174 record, a 56.5% win percentage. He had 4 playoff appearances in 5 years. He had a 24 and 23 playoff record. Not the most impressive playoff record, obviously. However, last year, the Knicks were injured. Everybody was hospitalized. Everybody was, injured. And they still took the Pacers to 7 games. They still did really, really well. I don't know. I have a hard time saying that Tibbs is the reason that they lost that series. Why can't we just talk about how the Pacers are an incredible team? Maybe the Pacers are a better team. Is Rick Carlisle a better coach than Tibbs? I would say so, but I still think Tibbs is easily a top 10 coach in the league. So that's kind of, a little bit of an issue. Is somebody really going to change the entire culture of the Knicks in a positive way? Is somebody going to be able to coach better and take this team that it was their first year together and they managed to make the Eastern Conference Finals? It feels kind of dirty saying that Tibbs is the reason that they lost and saying that Tibbs is not going to be the coach anymore. It's kind of wild, especially since Jalen Brunson at the end of Game 6 had an interview with the press, and somebody asked him, "Do you think Tibbs can take you to the next level?" And Jalen was flabbergasted that the reporter would even ask that question. That's the crazy part about Tibbs' firing. Was he the greatest coach in the world? No. Is he a future Hall of Famer? I would say so. He's still got a lot in the tank, in my opinion. And I think that he probably could have gotten them over the hump if the team was constructed in a little bit of a better way. I think the reason the Knicks lost is because not only were the Pacers the better team and were put together better and have been together for years and have a ton of experience and had great coaching, but they also had way more depth. The Knicks don't have any depth. I know that people criticize Tibbs for not playing his bench and whatever, but the Knicks kind of had a very, very short bench. A lot of the players that were the Knicks like 7th man, 8th man, 9th man, those guys are not probably playing for the Pacers. Maybe the 7th man is too far. But 8, 9, 10 of the Knicks, they're not playing for the Pacers. They're not playing for the Celtics. They're not playing for these other teams that are deep and have great teams. It's because the Knicks are very top heavy. Their starting five is incredible. But there's not enough room to have a solid bench and solid depth with those guys at the top. And I think that was a big problem for Tibbs. So did he deserve to be fired? I don't think so. I think if you were going to fire Tibbs, you should have done it either 2 years ago or you should give him another year with this team. Personally, that's what I feel. But I'm hoping and I trust that Leon Rose has a plan. I do believe that he does have something in place. Obviously, I don't have any insider information or anything like that, but I have to believe that Leon Rose knows what he's doing. He's been incredible, and the Knicks have improved every single year that he's been around. He has made a world of difference for this team, and I think that if they fired Tibbs, then they have to have something backing that up. And I love that. I respect that. And I'm really, really hoping that I'm right about that. Because, again, I don't know for sure. Who will the Knicks hire? I know the Knicks are really, really high on Johnny Bryant. He was their assistant coach for a while, or their associate coach for quite a while. He made a huge difference with the team. Then he went to the Cleveland Cavs, and the Cavs had their best season yet. So I know the Knicks are super, super interested in hiring him. He was one of the final two to potentially get hired as the Phoenix Suns coach. So I'm thinking that he's the front runner for possibly being the Knicks coach. The Suns coach wasn't officially decided on, and there's a lot of rumors that Tibbs was fired now so that the Knicks could jump in and grab Johnny Bryant before he becomes the head coach of the Suns. I think that theory has some credence. I don't know if that's for sure, obviously. There's a couple other interesting coaches out there. There's Mike Malone, who I think Mike Malone is going to basically be Tibbs part 2. Yeah, he has a ring, but does he have a ring because he was an incredible coach, or does he have a ring because, Jokic went absolutely Super Saiyan in those playoffs and went absolutely ballistic? I think Mike Malone is good and fine, but I don't think that he's an upgrade on Tibbs, in my opinion. Mike Budenholzer is a little different. I do think Bud is an upgrade on Tibbs, a slight upgrade. I do think Bud is pretty great as a coach. He was part of that Greg Popovich coaching tree, so you gotta believe that he learned a lot from Pop. But at the same time, I could make an argument that what I just said about Mike Malone, a lot of the same things would apply to Mike Budenholzer. He had Giannis go Super Saiyan in those playoffs. He went absolutely ballistic, and he was a generational talent, which the Knicks technically don't have, though I do personally feel like Jalen Brunson, he is a generational talent. Jalen is that guy. Obviously, he's not on the level of Jokic or Giannis. I'm being a little tongue-in-cheek, but I don't know. I've been getting a lot of pushback when I mention Bud as the potential coach of the New York Knicks. Sam Cassell, also a big time favorite for the Knicks, apparently. I think Sam Cassell is going to be a good coach. I do. He's been an assistant coach for like 20 years or whatever. I do think that he's got the talent there, but I don't think that as a Knicks fan, I really want Sam Cassell. Like, I don't want the experiment to find out if Sam Cassell is a good coach to be in the Knicks organization. I don't know. We're in this little tiny section of the Knicks, like having their best players all in their prime right now, like Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Cat, Jalen. They're all in their prime, and we can't really afford to wait like 2 or 3 years for someone like Sam Cassell to like get his coaching style down and figure it out and, you know, push us to the next level. Then, like, the Knicks have win now mentality. They're not this like super, super young team that maybe has a bright future. Like, they have a window of the next like 3, 4, 5 years to contend. And I don't know. I personally want somebody who's established and who knows exactly what the hell they're doing to be the head coach of the Knicks and to take us to the next level. But again, if Leon Rose is firing Tibbs, I have to believe that Leon Rose has a plan for who they want for the next level. That's why I kind of think that Johnny Bryant is going to be the favorite for them to sign, because Johnny Bryant is probably like the top quote unquote prospect of becoming the next big head coach. So the Knicks have a lot of work to do in this offseason. You know, I haven't been making a ton of videos recently because life has gotten in the way. I've had a whole lot of things going on. We've been doing a lot of work on the house, got married. Things are just going on, but I do plan on putting more videos on the channel. And I'm probably going to be talking a lot about the Knicks on those videos because you see it right there. I'm a Knicks fan. I love the Knicks. I was very disappointed when they lost to the Pacers. I do think the Pacers were a better team, but I also think that was a winnable series. Did that come down to coaching? I don't know. That's for you guys to decide. I guess that's what Leon Rose decided. But for me, I want to see what the Knicks are going to do this offseason because I do think they need to make some changes to the roster. You know, I'm not really sure Cat is the right guy for the team. I do love Cat. I do think that he did an incredible job this year. He helped raise us to the next level. The problem is Cat doesn't play defense. He's very, very bad defensively. And Jalen Brunson, also not a good defender. You know, Jalen can play great team defense. He takes charges. He gets in good position and whatever. He doesn't play good individual defense. You know, he just doesn't. Cat, I feel like, doesn't play team defense well or individual defense well. And that is a huge issue. Can this team go to the next level with two guys that don't play defense in the starting five? Even if we have Wingstop with OG and Mikal, who did an amazing, amazing, amazing job during the playoffs. They were amazing defensively. I know that Mikal was a little hot and cold in terms of offense, but when he was hot, he was super hot. And OG was just carrying. You know, OG did a big time part for the team in order to try and push them to the finals. They missed out by a couple games. It sucks, but I don't know. The Knicks have a lot of questions to answer. Do they just get more depth? Is it just more depth that pushes them to the next level? Or is it that they have to get rid of Cat? Also, how do they get that depth? Do they have to get rid of Cat in order to get the depth? It's going to be a very interesting offseason. And I'm looking forward to what's happening. I would love to hear your opinions in the comment section about what you think is going to happen with the Knicks during this offseason. I don't really know. And I'm really glad that I don't have to make the hard decisions like Leon Rose has to, because I don't know, do we just change coaches and that's going to be the big difference for the Knicks this year? Is it really that they needed better coaching? If so, let's hope that that coach can really take them to the finals and beyond. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say because I think the roster has a lot of issues. And I think this team overachieved this year. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know if I know at the beginning of the year, Leon Rose thought that they would be Eastern Conference Finals material, but throughout the playoffs, throughout the season, I'm not really sure that they convinced me that that was true. There was a lot that they had to do with the roster, and they haven't been able to do it yet because of the money situation. So we're going to have to see how this goes, and I'm looking forward to the offseason. And I'm looking forward to game 1 of the finals tonight. I'm going to be trying to put out videos every single day with my thoughts on some sort of topic in sports once again on this channel. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more content. And yeah, I'm excited for the future of this channel. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your day.